I'm gonna smash him. I'm gonna smash him.
Do you think Dubois wins Parker? My bet is with Parker.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you think we'll see Usyk versus Parker?
We don't know what we're gonna see.
After the conclusion of the intoxicating rematch between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk, many fans and experts have started to debate about their possible next moves. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan, who is a notable personality in the combat community, shared his thoughts on Usyk's victory, labeling him as one of the best technical fighters of this generation, who can triumph under any circumstances or against any sort of opponent, no matter how intimidating or brutal they might be. Joe also praised his ability to outmaneuver some of the biggest fighters in the heavyweight division like Tyson Fury and Derek Chisora, despite his comparatively smaller size.
Yeah.
That Usyk guy is talented. He's so talented. He's so small for a heavyweight too. He's nonstop movement and his footwork and everything. It's so different than anybody else.
Analyzing the performance displayed by both the fighters during this rematch, Joe pointed out the fact that though this time Tyson did show some interest and appeared to land some good shots at the Ukrainian fighter, they were still not sufficient in fulfilling their motive, because no matter how much effort and logical thinking Tyson put behind each of these jabs, they did not reach the mark, and at the end of the day, they all fell flat, causing the decision to come out dominantly in favor of Usyk this time as well, crowing him as the next king of the heavyweight division in the eyes of the public.
And if you watch the Usyk fight, he was touching Usyk up in the beginning of the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, that reach and that jab, the accuracy that he has, he was doing really well in that fight until he started to slow down a little bit, and Usyk wound up just catching him. He's like, where is this guy going to be when I'm throwing punches? He was moving all over the place.
Further highlighting the immaculate style adopted by Usyk in both this rematch and the one fight before it, Joe stated that in this day and age, such a technical and methodical fighting stance is almost unheard of in the heavyweight division, because you usually only expect the heavyweights to be huge and intimidating, but when a fighter adds his own twist and unprecedented attributed in the mix, it becomes a whole another game where no matter what you challenge them with, they will always be prepared to counter it.
He's a heavyweight, and the heavyweights were never really that good in terms of that kind of technique. It's like you need it at like middleweight and light heavyweight because everyone's super talented and technical. When you get up to the heavyweight division, it tends to be like a lower bar.
Joe compared Usyk's fighting style with that of his fellow Ukrainian fighter Vasily Lomachenko, who also utilizes his excellent footwork and boxing IQ to get out of tricky situations. Keeping these all factors in mind, Joe also expressed his desire for Usyk to continue to compete professionally inside the ring, stating that even though he has reached an age where anything can happen any day, his style and physique are still in pristine condition, which allows him to move on further towards more battles, like the possible rematch with Daniel Dubois.
Lomachenko and Usyk were trained by the same guy. They were both trained by Lomachenko's father. So they both have extreme technique. And then you have Bivol and Bitterbeef that just fought. Same thing. Both like super Soviet style boxing, and you go, whoa, like this is technique, like really, really high level technique.
Being someone who has been a vital part of Usyk's journey throughout the course of years, promoter and manager Alex Krassyuk weighed in on the significance of the victory for Usyk, stating that this triumph has not only secured Usyk's legacy as one of the greatest fighters of this generation, but it has also settled the ongoing debate about who is the better boxer between Tyson and Usyk. Labeling the Ukrainian fighter as an inspiration for the youth, Alex also expressed his emotions about representing the fighter for so many years. According to him, this win, along with the 2 continuous fights against one of the toughest challengers in the heavyweight division, Usyk's reputation transformed within a couple of months, where he grew from a relatively unknown character to someone who is used as an inspiration to not only the Ukrainian amateur fighter, but also the youth around the world who yearn to enter the boxing ring in hopes of fulfilling their dreams of becoming the next champion of the sport.
But he is an icon for any Ukrainian. He's the iconic athlete. He is the iconic personality. He is the iconic Ukrainian. That's how people treat him. That's how people feel him. And that's the reason why he is so popular and why people keep backing him, keep cheering for him and keep supporting him everywhere.
During countless interviews and public statements, Alex also touched upon the comments stating how Usyk was not a worthy opponent and that he is not as tough as people make it out to him, which according to Alex and his team is a ludicrous notion because even after the first fight, many experts and spectators stated otherwise and that Usyk was able to cement his name in the division. And this rematch has only solidified that claim that with his sheer determination and hard work over the course of last couple of months, Usyk has managed another magnificent win.
Yes, I don't know why, I don't know how, but he did look old for some reason.
The biggest key in Usyk winning the fight.
His hard work. That is the key. His hard work is the key.
Not letting this topic slide without highlighting another important aspect in his interview, Alex shed some light on the incessant efforts from the international media to paint Usyk as a villain or fraud who only won due to the biased involvement of the judges. Blasting the critics and the alleged haters, Alex stated that according to him and all those who are adept professionals regarding close fights like these, there is no doubt that Usyk won from the start till the end.
Usyk's performance only adds to my happiness.
Overall, what'd you think of the scorecards?
116 to 112. I consider it pretty fair because I have exactly the same.
Moving on to the next possible move for Usyk, Alex refrained from giving any definitive statement, emphasizing that at this stage, they are not going to jump right back inside the ring because after the strenuous and excruciating last couple of months for the preparation of this rematch, it is mandatory for Usyk to take some time off from the professional ring and to recover from any injuries that he might have sustained. However, one thing that Alex did clarify was that there will be no retirement announcement for Usyk in the next 2 years because the fighter still has a lot to give.
That Usyk was mentioning possible retirement as an option.
No.
Is that?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He didn't mention it even in sauna.
Yeah.
No.
According to Alex, at this stage, there are a lot of options that are available for Usyk, and after his rest is done, he can choose which one he wants to venture on. Expressing his wishes about the next possible strategy for Usyk, the promoter coyly hinted at a move to the cruiserweight division, explaining how after being a heavyweight for quite some time now, and having defeated some of the biggest names in this division, he wants to see the Ukrainian fighter move back to the cruiserweight in an attempt to become the undisputed champion one more time after holding the prestige title once before.
If you ask me, I would love to see Usyk becoming undisputed in the third time.
So that was set priority over staying at heavyweight.
Oh, but it's not like a priority. It's something that I would love to see.
What about a move down to cruiserweight? Is that possible as well?
Everything is possible, or nothing is impossible.
Dismissing any such talks about a trilogy taking place between Tyson Fury and Usyk earlier next year, Alex stated that if Usyk's final verdict is about staying in the heavyweight division to take on other champions, then the best option for him would be to go against the winner of the upcoming fight between Daniel Dubois and Joseph-Parker, set to take place on February 22nd next year. Now, although Alex seems to respect his fighter's possible decision about taking on Daniel once again after their fight way back in 2023, he believes that it might not be practical enough based on how the fight on Feb 22nd will most probably go in Joseph's favor due to his superior skills and attributes that tend to overpower the ones that Daniel currently has in his arsenal.
Do you think Dubois wins Parker? My bet is with Parker.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you think we'll see Usyk versus Parker?
We don't know what we're gonna see. Usyk asked Turki Al-Sheikh to arrange the fight with Daniel Dubois. But it's a little bit too early because Daniel Dubois is facing Joseph-Parker, who is a beast from New Zealand. And my bet is with Joseph. Not because I disrespect somehow or dislike Daniel Dubois, just because I consider Joseph-Parker's skills, boxing skills, higher than Daniel's.
While sharing his views on these statements issued by his promoter, Usyk seems to be on the same page, stating that this fight seems to have taken a lot of effort out of him, which can only be replenished if he takes some time away from the spotlight and gets some proper rest for the next couple of months. Emphasizing how he won't be highlighting any major events soon, Usyk added that after getting the job done once again, all he wants is to spend some quality time with his family, whom he might have neglected in the process of training for this fight, because after the first fight concluded in May, he did not take any time off and jumped right back in an arduous fight camp.
Listen, my next step I wanna rest because maximum 2 months, maybe 1.5. Now I wanna back home, rest, off my phone and close.
In one last interview before going on his vacation, Usyk shared his immense gratitude for the fans who came out in his sport and stood by his side from the very beginning. Also sharing his thoughts on his rival, Usyk emphasized that even though there might be some disputes regarding the eventual decision, one thing that both of them have to admit is that this fight was a legendary affair that made history, and it was also a fight where he not only gained more fame, but he also became much stronger and technical due to the extreme threat and challenge that Tyson brought to the ring, which in the hindsight eventually made him a better athlete.
My English fans, thank you so much for your support. For me it's very important. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Слава Богу за все. Слава Україні. Tyson Fury make me strong. Tyson Fury continue not like motivated for me, but Tyson is a great opponent.
Giving his reaction on the possibility of fighting his old foe, Daniel Dubois next, Usyk appeared almost aloof, stating that even though he wouldn't mind this fight and would gladly accept it if the opportunity arises, right now he is not really going to meddle in this thing because at this stage, Daniel has a much bigger challenge awaiting him in the form of the formidable Dubois-Parker, who is not only known for his ability to take down some of the biggest heavyweights in the division, but can also hold out against the best hitters in the game, including Daniel, whose main skills revolves around landing soul-shattering punches.
I don't have a message for Dubois.
So you gonna fight him?
Dubois has to fight Dubois-Parker, and this is a very tough fight for him. I have my bet with Dubois-Parker, so it's too early to mention here Daniel's name in regards to Usyk.
However, not taking the obvious hint and continuing to be quite incessant in making this rematch happen earlier next year, Daniel Dubois has spared quite some controversy in the last couple of days after his vexed decision to intervene during the ring interviews after Usyk's victory, supposedly trying to make a lasting statement based on how every prominent name from the industry seemed to be there. After Usyk was announced as the winner, Daniel jumped inside the ring and started his onslaughts of threats towards Usyk, which comprised of how he would take him down in the next fight. According to Daniel, he wants to have a chance at redemption, especially after the robbery that was done against him during their first meeting in 2023. Now, what Daniel tried to allude to here is the situation surrounding him not getting the proper scoring from the judges, including the fact that a result-altering knockdown was also not counted in the end result, causing him to be declared as the loser in that fight. Looking for payback, Daniel made his views quite clear in the ring, which further propelled Usyk to stop his speech and to address this situation by asking His Excellency Turkey Alalshik to make this fight next to hash this matter out as well.
Daniel, 1 second, let him have his moment. Daniel, no. Usyk, well, I want my revenge. I want my revenge, Usyk. Well done on tonight. Well done on tonight. God bless. I want my revenge for the robbery in last time. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Where's Frank? Make it happen.
Mr. Excellency. Your Excellency. Make me fight with Daniel Dubois. Thank you so much.
Not looking the least bothered or concerned about the astronomical mess that he created due to this erratic move, Daniel also gave some rather questionable interviews where he was seen giving threats pointed towards Usyk, stating how no matter what, he will be the one who brings down the Ukrainian devil because, after the continuous defeats that many prominent fighters in the heavyweight division have faced by his hands, it is about time that his throne gets taken over by someone new and fresher like him, who will not only bring a new outlook to the sport, but will also be able to garner more fans due to his high spike in popularity after his extraordinary win against the former champion and boxing elite Anthony Joshua in September at Wembley.
It's my time now. It's time to hand over the crown. It's passing of the...
You want the winner?
Yeah.
Well, you want the winner. You want Usyk.
I want Usyk now. Yeah.
Did you think he deserved
in Wembley? Get him in Wembley.
Did you think he deserved to win tonight?
Daniel, talk to me. You knocking out Usyk next? Knocking out. Straight out. Smash him.
Got unfinished business, bro. Yeah.
You're knocking him out, man. He went to sleep.
What did you see in Usyk's eyes when you challenged him to a rematch?
I'm gonna smash him. I'm gonna smash him.
What's next for him?
I don't know, man. He should retire, in my opinion. Done everything. But it's my time now. I want to be the next man.
One of the few people who believe that Daniel might just get this job done is none other than the heavyweight king Francis Ngannou, who after witnessing the first fight thinks that this time around, if Usyk and Daniel were to face one another inside the ring, the outcome will be much different than the one before, based on how Daniel has become much more confident after his victory against Joshua and has gained pretty good insight on the game, which might aid him in countering off the technical moves thrown his way from Usyk's side. Along with this startling prediction, Francis also highlighted the fact that despite lacking a certain air of confidence in the first fight, Daniel did manage to hold himself pretty well against Usyk and might have won if it was not for the improper decision and judgment that the referee gave.
You want to see that rematch?
Yeah, Dubois get him though. Dubois get him for the first fight. I mean, he didn't play out well, but I thought he'd get him. But you know, it is what it is.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, this move from Daniel was not so well received by the other members of the community who think that even though the callouts and threats are a major factor in generating the hype surrounding an event, this gimmick from Daniel just appeared cheap and embarrassing. Sharing their thoughts on what transpired on Saturday night, many social media users and fans expressed their sentiments surrounding this whole drama, commenting that Dubois is embarrassing. He's still got to fight Parker in February the Plonker. Embarrassing from Dubois when he's got a really hard fight coming up. While another user wrote, the secondhand cringe embarrassment for Daniel Dubois in the ring tonight was David Brent Levels. Embarrassing from Dubois, let Usyk have his moment and concentrate on your next fight with Parker. The focal point that was highlighted by the vast majority of these comments was the apparent overconfidence from Daniel's side, because even though he has won a very tough fight against one of the best fighters, he is still not on the same level as to challenge a great like Usyk, who not only has way more skills as compared to him, but has also defeated him once before in the past, which makes him much more vulnerable than he realizes. Advising Daniel to focus on the fight at hand, many fans told the fighter to first win against Parker and then make boisterous claims like these. Although there was no direct comment from Usyk on this whole situation, his team made their views clear about it and said that it was not only embarrassing but also disrespectful. Sergey Le Pen, who is Usyk's trainer and his close ally, criticized the 27-year-old fighter, sarcastically stating that this move from Daniel's side was nothing but a cheap attempt at gaining more notoriety, because deep down even he knows that he is not prepared for the fight as he claims to be. Sergey also blasted Frank Warren for being a part of this act and how instead of stopping Daniel from making this childish mistake, he only propelled him to do more.
Frank Warren tell, hey Daniel, go, and Daniel stay. Okay, I'm ready. No, not ready now. Daniel, go, and Daniel, okay. Hey, Usyk, I'm.
So in the end, what do you guys think about this possible next fight between Usyk and Daniel Dubois? Do you think that it will be a good fight for Usyk at this point in his career, or is it about time that he hangs the gloves and bids farewell to the professional ring? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.